My name is Mateus. I'm a lecturer in veterinary public health at the Royal Veterinary College in London.
Anna, there's no bigger public health issue than antibiotics, antimicrobial resistance. We've got everybody, including the President of the United States, talking about it. But it's a complex subject, but what does it mean for you? What does it mean for you as a citizen of the world?
I think antimicrobial resistance is an issue that concerns all of us. It doesn't concern only the veterinarians. It concerns any public health or any health professional that's working with humans and animals and that deals with the environment. Because antimicrobial resistance, it has a very complex epidemiology, and we still don't know everything about antimicrobial resistance. So therefore, it's very important that we work together as a team to try and face this issue, because the lack of antimicrobials for treatment of humans and animals poses a serious risk for both animal and public health. And
obviously, you've invested your time. You talked about the importance of a team. GRAM is a team of people, a team of experts, and you've been trying to come to a consensus about the way forward. I hope you've arrived there, but if you look back in 5 years' time, what would you hope that GRAM might achieve?
I hope that we arrive to a consensus in terms of what's relevant in terms of antimicrobial therapy. So we're probably not going to find the golden pill for sorting all the problems, but that we give guidance to the people that work in first opinion practice or what they need to consider for making the decisions when they're selecting antimicrobials for animal therapy, that they not only preserve the antimicrobial efficacy, but they also ensure that the animals receive the best care possible and they protect their health and welfare. And also they take into account the concerns of their clients. So, and it's also important that when we do this consensus, that we take into consideration that is also an education tool. And we're trying to educate the vets, so then they can also, through their work, they raise awareness of the public for antimicrobial resistance.
You talked about, we obviously, before starting this project, we surveyed a lot of veterinarians and we asked them what help they needed. And they said they needed practical guidelines from experts like yourself.
Yeah.
What do you think GRAM will bring in that sense?
I think the nice thing about GRAM is that it joins a very multidisciplinary team. We don't only have clinicians that work in practice, we also have epidemiologists and also microbiologists that have experience on this subject. And therefore, they provide a more holistic view to the veterinarians in practice on how they can address antimicrobial resistance and how they can proceed to select antimicrobials for caring of their patients. So therefore, it's very important that we involve. It will be interesting then if we see, once it's implemented, how effective are these guidance in terms of improving antimicrobial usage in practice. And it's particularly important, I think, these recommendations are good. Probably some countries already have their own guidelines, so they can use it pair and pair and compare them. But I think it will be probably a very important tool for countries where there's no guidance provided by the veterinary associations, because those countries are probably the ones that have more issues in terms of responsible use of antimicrobials, and veterinarians don't have good surveillance data that will tell them if there are any resistance patterns they should be looking for. So at least it gives them some help and some support in the everyday work in practice.
And you mentioned the future there. So, looking forwards, I mean, what do you believe the future of antibiotherapy is?
I think we need to demonstrate that we use the antimicrobials responsibly, so we don't lose the efficacy of the antimicrobials, because it's very unlikely that we get new substances or new antimicrobial groups that we can use in the future, so we need to try and preserve the efficacy. So that means we still have to have access to the antimicrobials, because we have animals that we need to care for, and we need to have therapeutic options to deal with. But at the same time, we need to see, okay, do I always need to use antimicrobial if I have a viral infection? And obviously it's not. But we need just not to concern ourselves with the individual animal. We need to think about how our actions as veterinarians impact then on the general populations and on the community, also in humans, because antimicrobial resistance is also some pathogens are zoonotic, and resistant pathogens can be transferred from small animals to humans and vice versa. So therefore, it's very important that we take into account that, yes, antimicrobial resistance is also an issue in practice, and we as veterinarians, we have, as public health practitioners as well, we need to take that into account in order for us to have still access. But of course, we need to continue to try and see if we can find a stimulus for the industry, together with governance, to support the development of new molecules for usage in both human and veterinary medicine.
We just perhaps one final. We were talking at supper last night, and we talked about the importance of communication, and this is a subject that is, we've seen from studies that the general public understand not very well. As a veterinarian, I mean, how do you think we can do more to educate the public, to really make sure that they understand what you're trying to do as a professional, and how you're trying to do the best for their animal?
I think often enough there's a misperception of, there's probably an awareness, a lack of awareness by pet owners of antimicrobial resistance and what it is. So the veterinarian has an important role actually in educating pet owners. So I think it's also important that veterinarian has a good communication and tries to tell and educate the pet owner that it's not always going to get a prescription of antimicrobials. And actual antimicrobials, although they're perceived by the general public as being safe, they're not safe because there might be the occurrence of resistance, there might be the occurrence of adverse reactions that often we don't perceive as such. So therefore it's important that we try not only to do this guidance for the veterinarians, but also that we integrate those with education of pet owners as well. So probably it would be good to diffuse this kind of guidance through the media, have also posters and other things in the practice or leaflets that can be used to inform pet owners, okay, the veterinarian is going to try and provide you the best care, but you also have to ensure that you follow the instructions of the veterinarian, you follow the prescription, you give the antimicrobials in a responsible way so that your pet then has the best care possible, and that you also ensure that no infection propagating in your household, and that you have really a good therapeutic success.